back again. Found the box. So here is the Casatronic. I think it is a 12 pole, but I'm not sure. Performance kit. That is so cool. Pretty much anybody can install these bloody things. And the reason why is because when you open it up, you get a sheet and it tells you exactly how to do it. So I'm going to move the box away. No, I'll show you what's in the box first. So inside the box, you get a nice flywheel wrench or spanner. You get a lovely flywheel. Look at that, baby. It's lovely. You get this really cool wiring loom. You get your coil, or whatever you want to call it. And here's the baby, the kind of like the part of the brains is here. But it's all plug and play. So again, here's the wonderful piece of engineering that's, I'll get it out of the box in a minute. I keep you in suspense, as they say. So for reliability, can't really say much other than they're pretty well maintenance free. And the reason that they're maintenance free is because I guess it's so bloody complicated. But that being said, one of the things that everybody has to do, or most people have to do on their scooters, is time them. Obviously you're going to find top dead center, and depending on what scooter you've got, it's going to be either 19 or 20, 23, I think 23 or 23.5 was the standard. But now you've got this wonderful kit. So this, if you're familiar with timing, you would set normally your top dead center, and you can see some marks. Maybe you can or maybe you can't on here. I use an old spark plug that I basically ripped apart to find top dead center. All I need is a cup of tea. So that goes in your barrel, and then you would normally put it in, you'd rotate, you'd have your flywheel and your stator plate in, you'd rotate your flywheel one way until the piston went up and hit the stop. You'd put one mark, you'd rotate it backwards, you'd get another mark, you'd double check it, make sure that your line on your flywheel is aligned with this and this, halve the distance, that's top dead center, and then you use a timing disc, which I also have one of them, one of these. And that's how you would basically go back your 19 degrees. So it doesn't show 0 on here, obviously, but it gives you here. And for all the people that went to school, even though for me it was like over 40 years ago, oh my goodness. 365 degrees, sorry, 360 degrees in a circle. 365 days in a year. Oops. Anyway, so obviously this would be on your flywheel like this. You would line one line up, which with your top dead center, you would mark back 19 degrees. So obviously these are in increments of 1 degree. So you got 5 and 10 and 15 and 20. So you know that you can fix that on here. You'd mark where you know, it would be closer, but you would mark your top dead center, come back 19, put a mark. That's where your firing is. So that's when you would set your either electronic, fixed electronic, or your points to open. We don't need any of this. And the reason we don't need any of this, because this is plug and play. So, instructions, pretty straightforward. 1, get that magic piece of electronic wizardry and remove it from the box. Let's do that now. Nice bit of sellotape on it. Sellotape. Sellotape. Ready? So there is the Casatronic stator plate. So let's go old school. We can go really old school. Maybe not tonight. Oh, no we can't. Hold on, people. I should have got prepared for the lesson. Ah. Okay. Here is this is from a series 1/2. So it's 4-pole. Basically all you've got is you've got 2 coils. One is for your ignition and one is for your lighting. You got your points. These are out of an engine that you could see had flooded. So this is early 4-pole. Here we have 6-pole. So very similar principle, and this is off of a Italian series 3, if I remember rightly. Just looking at the wiring colors, your brown, black, green and pink. So yeah, this is an original series 3. Points, condenser, ignition coils and lighting coils. I don't know which one is which, but principle, you're supposed to, part of the maintenance schedule of a Lambretta is you're supposed to put oil on this, basically a bit of 2-stroke lube, because this keeps the flywheel pickup clear. But again, we don't have any of this, so I'm just showing you old school, really old school, new school. Okay, so why is this cool? Simply because all we're going to do is basically, can you see that? I think you can all see that. This basically goes up through the top of the engine. I need 2 hands for this. You just gotta go careful. Now the last time I had this, it was a pain in the butt. So yes, there is good new stuff. But again, did I pull that? Maybe I pulled that. I pulled that down, maybe. Can't remember what I did now. Because again, like old things, it says you just put that up through there, but obviously the hole is tight, so I think I pulled back on this just to get the rubber off of, and then I put that up through there, and then I put that up through there. Okay. So then this, oh, the crank. This is not a lefty-loosey, righty-tighty. It's a righty-loosey, lefty-tighty. So if I go lefty-loosey, I'm doing it up. If I go righty-tighty, I'd be normally doing it up. But this is a left-handed thread. So obviously, because of the way the flywheel rotates, if it was a lefty-loosey, righty-tighty, the way the flywheel rotates, the flywheel nut would come undone. So obviously, instead of doing it up, I'm actually undoing. Basically, you put this over here. And then you basically just bolt. So there is a recess on the back of the stator plate that holds the stator perfectly central to the crank. So I never really know whether it says use the bolt, but we do. So we're going to put that in there. This is the original. It holds the cable in the right location. We put this on here like so. And 6. That's holding it in there nice. Just undo it. And then we're just going to get some. Where's my lock washers? There's 1, 2. Maybe washers. Lost. So all of the timing discussion has gone, and how it does it, I have no clue, but they've designed this system that it knows where it is based on the position of your keyway, your woodruff key in your crank, which will be on here. Oh, I think I've got to get one of them. So based on your crank positioner, which is the woodruff key and the flywheel. So maybe we'll do this in 2 parts. The woodruff key is basically a half moon. I've got to find one of them. I do have spares in that box, but maybe we won't do that tonight. So the woodruff key goes in, and then this beautiful shiny piece here has a corresponding keyway in it. And if your flywheel is loose, and a lot of people inadvertently either don't do them up tight enough or they come loose themselves, if your woodruff key shears, all your timing's out. It can cause a lot of damage. One is it'll damage your crank, because if this is on a very fine taper, and the 2 tapers lock together, and the keyway is there to hold it, you can actually lock on a taper. If you look on a Miller lathe, the tailstock, there is a 2 or 3 different size tapers depending on the size of your lathe that hold different tools in. Well, obviously there's 2 different types of crank. You've got a GP and a LI SX TV, normal Italian crank. So you've got to go careful that when you buy one of these kits, it's bought pertinent to the right crank. But basically the taper will align with this taper, and the key will align the key, and then inside here you've got magnets. So this is basically rotating, and then somehow the pickup is this gray box here, and I'm assuming that when it gets to maybe a break in the magnet or some other magical piece in here, it fires. So it knows where it is. So I mean, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 coils. That's a lot of coils. But the other good thing is it produces 120 watts. So you can, on the wiring loom, which I will show you tomorrow. It's going to show you a, it will have 3 wires coming off of it, which is a green. Well, as it says here, it's going to have a green. It's going to have a red and brown. So brown is your lights and horn, etc. Green is to the kill switch or your key, and red is if you want to run a battery. So you can run a dry cell battery now. So you think about the wattage of your bulbs on your scooter. A standard scooter, I think, front headlight bulb is a 35 watt high and low beam. Then you got maybe a 3 or 4 watt tail light. You got the headlight, the festoon bulb for your driving lights, and then you got a speedo light. Add that all up, it's like 50 something watts. But the standard stator only produced a small amount of electricity, or amps, or current, or watts. And basically this is producing enough that you can wire in maybe a dry cell battery and run a phone charger. You could run a dry cell battery to run some external fog lights. The world is really your oyster when it comes to all of this stuff. But so basically what I'm doing is I'm just really bolting the stator plate into the mag housing, and then all I've got to do then to finish this, I don't have to worry about top dead center because I haven't got the piston head or anything on yet. All I have to worry about is making sure these 3 bolts are tight, and then it's plug and play. There's a plug that goes in here, and then blah blah blah. So it gets down to the nitty gritty once you get down to the back end. And yeah, so this has just got to be done up tight. This one up tight. This one up tight. Basically, we'll just nip the other ones. The other ones are all tight anyway, but and then the wonders of the Casatronic are basically done, because that, my friends, is the heart of it. Done. Yes, I've got to put a keyway in, but in essence, once I put this on, so the keyway is at 12 o'clock now, that would be on at 12, you would literally slot that on and it would be off to the races. So yeah, like we're pretty much done. So nice. That's it. Speak to you soon. Bye.